Hi, this is Dennis Miedema from Women with Women again, and I don't know if you saw the last video about the fear of failure and all kinds of other stuff, what in a game really is, and today I want to talk a little bit about the fear of rejection. But first, let me explain to you why I'm in a car, because I'm not in a car making this video by accident. No, I did it on purpose. Why? Because how most men think about the world, women and dating, basically is what you see around you right now. A box, a little box that you can't get out of, a confined space called your comfort zone, in which everything you do feels comfortable, but meanwhile you have things outside your comfort zone where risk is involved that could be much better, because like I said in the last video, if you keep doing the things you have always done, you will keep getting the results you've always had, 0 to none. That's why it's important to take risks. So okay, what I want to say first of all is about how most guys get advice on their inner game from is this ebook from Napoleon Hill or Tony Robbins or Dale Carnegie, those kinds of people. And the problem, in my opinion, with those ebooks is you read stuff, okay, but inner game and changing the way you believe about the world is all about putting things into practice. Because if you take a certain insight concept and never execute it, you will just fall back into your old habit patterns, like fear of failure, I shouldn't take risks because it's dangerous kind of stuff, because you don't put things into practice. And that's why I'm all about life coaching. I think when it comes to in a game, guys should look for ways to get themselves coached in field in a way that allows them to exercise certain things. Exercise habit patterns, exercise not feeling the fear of rejection in certain situations, exercise how their beliefs work and how they can improve that kind of stuff. Because let's face it, knowledge comes from experience, from skills. Skills come from experience too, by the way. So that's why it's important to put things into practice. And no amount of ebooks that you've read or stuff that you've listened is going to help you solve your inner issues, because you need to put things in practice and make things work in real life. You have to take a certain amount of risk to grow things into reality. Okay? And that's why I think, guys, all you guys out there should look for ways to get yourself coached live, like face-to-face by a guru or something like that, or over Amazon or over the phone, in no matter what, in a way that allows you to put things into perspective, to help yourself get out of your own comfort zone and live outside and think outside that box. And so far I helped many guys achieve these kinds of results with women, like for example getting a number from a girl who already has a boyfriend, which is like a total fantasy for most guys out there, or like having a threesome with 2 girls while the guy didn't think that was possible before because of his fucked up ass comfort zone. Those kinds of stuff, having a date once per day, or like 4 times a week, or several times a day even. That's all possible once you expand your own boundaries. And that's what I'm all about, helping you expand your own boundaries. And like I said, it took me 5 years before I managed to expand my own boundaries, but the results are worth it. I've been in numerous threesomes. I've had weeks where I had like 2 dates a day. I've had times where I just couldn't put any more phone numbers in my phone because the memory was just filled with phone numbers. And I don't know if you know anything about mobile phones, but that takes about 1,000 numbers, guys. So basically, once you expand the boundaries of what's possible, you expand the boundaries of your own life. And that's what we all want to do, become happy men, right? Satisfied men that can get any women we basically want to get. And Well, basically, last time I talked about the fear of failure, and today I want to talk a little bit about the fear of rejection. What is the fear of rejection? It's another negative, prohibitive habit pattern that our parents programmed us with in our formative years, like from 0 to 7 years old. And the problem was something psychologists call selective love. And what that basically means is, let's take example. Say you were a little boy and you broke a vase that was really important to your mother because it was a family piece. Blah 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 blah. And what did your mother tell you? You're such a bad kid. You're grounded. No dessert tonight. Blah 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 blah. You can't break any vases. Blah blah blah. So all of a sudden, it seemed like your mother didn't love you anymore because you broke a vase. But whenever you don't break anything inside the house, you are loved by her. That's just a small example of selective love. You weren't always loved by your parents when you were a child. So guess what you start fearing? You start fearing the moments where you aren't loved anymore because you do certain kinds of things. You start fearing being rejected because you do thing A or thing B. And during our formative years, guess what this grows into? Okay, if I talk to this girl with technique A, I will definitely not get love from her, so I will be rejected, so I shouldn't do it anyway. And that's where the fear of failure continues the whole thing and prevents you from doing anything at all. And the fear of rejection basically forces you, your subconscious mind at least, to think in ways of, if I do this, I will be loved by her. If I do that, I won't be loved by someone. It manage you to start fearing criticism, to start fearing other people's opinion, and what the worst thing about it is that you even start fearing how you feel about yourself. It influences the way you feel about yourself. Think about it. Self-confidence is the way you feel about yourself, right? Yet, because of the fear of rejection, the outside world influences how you feel about yourself, and that's what happens with most guys. They feel rejected. Because of it, they don't feel loved anymore, and because of that, they don't love themselves anymore. That's all because of that childhood behavior where you weren't loved if you did a certain kind of things. And that's why, for all those parents out there, if they're even watching these kinds of videos, it's important that you grew up with a sense of, I will be loved no matter what. Because once you program yourself with that belief, I will be loved no matter what I do, you stop fearing rejection. Okay? Think about it. Fear of rejection is nothing more than your parents saying to you in your childhood, if you do this, this or that, you won't be loved by me anymore, you're a bad child, you're a bad person, and you can't love yourself anymore. That's what the fear of rejection is. Nothing more than that. And during the next video, I want to talk to you a little bit about life coaching, what handling your inner issues is all about, and a little bit about why bad boys are so attractive to women. And this was Dennis from Win with Women, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye bye.